Cincinnati is one great sports town, home of Bearcat football. Tonight is senior night. 17 Cincinnati players appear in their final home game of their careers. Tonight, UC welcomes Memphis to town, led by explosive quarterback Riley Ferguson. It's must-win time for the Bearcats. College football on CBS Sports Network is presented by Geico. Tonight from historic Nippert Stadium, Cincinnati in a must-win. Have any chance to make a bowl game? Host bowl-bound Memphis. It's a matchup with the American Conference East and West divisions. Checking the standings, 7 teams bowl-bound already in the American Conference. How about Houston last night? A resounding win over number 5 Louisville. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Cincinnati. So great to have you with us. Dave Ryan alongside Corey Chavis, former All-SEC defensive back at Vanderbilt, joined by Melanie Collins on the field throughout the broadcast as well. Quarterback situation really polar opposite. Cincinnati's had 3 different starters. Hayden Moore starts tonight. Riley Ferguson, consistent, really good for Memphis. Year 1 as a starter.
Yeah, kind of cool to watch Riley Ferguson's development after you lose a first-round draft pick in Paxton Lynch, but it's been outstanding. Now, Hayden Moore get a chance to come back after a great 557-yard performance against Memphis a year ago.
Corey likes to emphasize the middle of the field. The spine of the field is really important. Let's compare these two teams tail to tape tonight.
I really believe the middle of the field, that's where your games are won and lost. And at the running back position, you got a 3-headed monster from Memphis, and those guys include Darrell Henderson. He's the quick guy. And then you think about what they can do with Dorlan Dorsey. At center, it's an even battle. Ashawn Bond is a senior for Cincinnati, but when you look at the center, Drew Kaiser, the youngster from Memphis, he's been starting since his freshman year. And at nose guard and defensive tackle, Cincinnati, the strength of their defense, perhaps 2 excellent players in Alex Pace and also Cortez Broughton. And then at linebacker, an even battle. You're going to see 2 good ones tonight. Jannard Avery and Eric Wilson. Both guys have made a lot of plays for their teams. And at safety, I think Cincinnati, even though they've had some injury problems, led by Zach Edwards, they have the best depth at that position.
Memphis will recede to begin our game tonight. Allegro weather, 66 degrees. It was beautiful. About 75 a high today in the Queen City. Chance of rain late tonight. We'll keep an eye on that. Ryan Jones will kick off here for UC. Redshirt freshman from Newcastle, Indiana. And Memphis is dangerous on kick return. They brought back 3 to the house this year. Underway tonight from Cincinnati. And Pollard from the 5. He's got 2 this year. Almost lost the ball. And stopped shy of the 30. Chick-fil-A starting lineup tonight. For Memphis, Riley Ferguson, the starter, taking over this year for now Denver Bronco QB Paxton Lynch. Ferguson started his career as a 5-star recruit at Tennessee. Never played it down for the Vols after got hurt. He left football. He worked building fences in 2014. Then a star at Coffeyville Junior College last year. All-American JC before landing at Memphis in spring of 2016. Now he's developed in one of the best quarterbacks in the conference, if not the country. 24 TD passes entering play tonight. Play fake, and Ferguson rolls right and throws. Magnifico can't bring it in. His tight end, Joey Magnifico, it's incomplete.
We just talked about Drew Kaiser in the open when we compared the center position. You're going to see him get out and pull around. He started again 12 games a year ago when Lynch was here. He's one of the stalwarts to me on their offensive line, along with Dustin Woodard, their left guard.
On second down, Dorlan Dorsey, his first carry stopped by Alex Pace.
Defensively, I believe Cincinnati, Zach Edwards. I mean, he's starting, again, this guy's been a starter since his sophomore year. You're going to see him be an excellent communicator throughout the afternoon. He's communicating right here. It's an excellent shot by our crew. And you can tell that with him on the field, this defense has a lot of confidence.
Great to see him on the field. Sports hurry. He was hobbling around during the walkthrough yesterday. Third down, pressure from Fitz and Pace. Ferguson gets away and gets the first down. Stopped by Wilson. First down for the Tigers.
Talked about the inside players. You can see they come inside and they collapse the pocket. Alex Pace and Cortez Broughton, and Ferguson's a little more mobile than you think in being able to get away from heat.
Henderson, his first carry. Freshman from Columbus, Mississippi. And that powerhouse high school program, South Panola, all-state player, won a state championship. Memphis is young but talented at running back. On second down, Henderson runs into trouble. Marquise Copeland. Physical defensive play sends him back. Mike Norvell, first-year head coach, longtime assistant to Todd Graham at Tulsa, at Pitt, and Arizona State. And has his Tigers bowl-bound in year one. Only 35 years old. He's the youngest coach in the FBS. 3rd and 7. Henderson featured back. He's the target. He's got the catch. And leans ahead and will have the first down by a yard. Darrell Henderson, effective play.
That's one of the ways that you're going to get him involved. They like to offset him and use him a lot up the sidelines and make linebackers have to match his speed.
First down for the Tigers. Henderson stays busy. And Wilson, who's had just a tremendous season, sends him backwards. 8th in the FBS in tackles per game. Eric Wilson, the senior from Redford, Michigan. A nice meeting with him during the team's walkthrough yesterday. Emotional about his last home game at Nippert. Henderson has put up some nice numbers. I like their young running backs.
Got a lot of them. Smorgasbord.
Always thinking about food, aren't you? Play fake. Here's Pollard, one of those young backs, and Wilson, nice pursuit from his linebacker spot to the boundary and make the play, but it's a good pickup there for the Tigers. Chains on the move again, first down. It's a gain of 9. Tigers go fast. On first down, Dorcius on the bench play, has the key. Has the run, upended by Edwards. Big pickup again, though, for Memphis. 10 more yards, first down.
Watch number 1, Tony Pollard. Watch the block he makes. He cuts off Mark Wilson. That's what allows Dorcius to get to the outside.
Tigers leading. Rusher entering play tonight, 635 yards. First down. Ferguson, belted by Wilson.
Dave, we've already talked about the spine of the football field. Down the middle of the football field, you've seen Cincinnati have an impact early, but Memphis is starting to test the edges of this Cincinnati defense.
Second down. Ferguson throwing. Pollard has the catch. Hit there by Edwards. Progress to about the 19.5, shy of the marker, needs a 16 for a first down. 4 more Tiger yards. Could be 4-down territory, but we got the great kicker, Jake Elliott, who's been very reliable in his fantastic career in the Mid-South.
And this is a down that Cincinnati is really struggled on third down. They need to get off the field here. They're great in the red zone.
Here's third down. Ferguson on a slant, incomplete. Anthony Miller, top target. Broken up by Mike Tyson.
And they bring in pressure, so you get the one-on-one situation. Mike Tyson gets Anthony Miller. Poor placement by Riley Ferguson. And that's it. There's a knock in his game. Sometimes those quick-hitting passes, he'll be a little bit behind. And Tyson looks a little bit more active tonight than he was a week ago.
Numbers for Elliott. He's got it from 37, 2-time American Conference Special Teams Player of the Year. So 3 points for Ferguson, who's doubled over a bit here. We'll have to check on his status. 37-yard field goal. Jake Elliott. Memphis has a 3-0 lead on Cincinnati. Let's go down to the field. Third member of our crew. Here's Melanie Collins.
Thank you, Dave. Well, it's no secret that Cincinnati has struggled mightily on offense. This team has gone 10 straight quarters without a touchdown, and they haven't scored a second-half point since October 1st against ECU. And after naming Gunnar Kiel the starting quarterback that week, they're back to square one with Hayden Moore after benching Kiel again against UCF last week. Coach Tarverville told us it's been extremely frustrating, and their biggest problem has been executing in the red zone. But he said these guys aren't hanging their heads. Their spirits are high. They know they still have plenty to play for. If they can win out, they're bowl eligible for a 6th straight season, but they've got to make something happen offensively today, guys. They're going to utilize some unique personnel groupings. Keep your eye on Khalil Lewis. He's a player they told us will have a big impact tonight.
Well, he's their most explosive player. Against East Carolina, had a career best 3 touchdown catches. Elliott kicking off. Lewis is the deep man because Mike Boone is out for the year with a foot injury. Touchback. We saw before the break, Corey, Riley Ferguson doubled over. Now on that
Well, look at
pass
the
play. Yep, to Miller. He got hit pretty hard, didn't
Yeah, look at the shot. It was Eric Wilson. He timed up his blitz in the A gap, and they had nobody. And that's the gap right inside of the center and the guard. And when you can time those blitzes and there's no running back, they had a free release. So they were in a protection day where it was just the 5 offensive linemen left in. So Wilson's the free hitter. You have to beat him with the throw, and he couldn't. He got it off, but Wilson laid a lick.
Keep a close eye on Ferguson. Hayden Moore, starting quarterback, Cincinnati. Fake it to Devin Gray, and Moore, the sophomore out of Alabama, keeps there and is dropped by Akins. Chick-fil-A starting lineup for the Bearcats. Hayden Moore starts again, sophomore from Clay, Alabama, near Birmingham. Along with Gunnar Keel, Ross Trill, one of 3 Bearcats who started a game this year. Last year against Memphis, set a school record, 557 passing yards in 3 quarters. Throwing here for the first time. Deep ball, Gray can't bring it in. With Lanier on coverage, incomplete. Catchable ball. A good throw from Moore to Gray.
Well, this is the 2nd week in a row we've seen this. And now you got to be a little bit frustrated if you're Hayden Moore. You can see he thought maybe he got grabbed, but last week had a chance to make a similar catch, same route, and also couldn't come up with it. And Moore's good throwing post routes, and that was a post route.
3rd down. Moore throwing and juggled incomplete. No call. And picked in the air, and Akins has the interception. Curtis Akins, the tip drill, makes a great play to pick it off. And a good return from Memphis to the 18-yard line of Cincinnati. 24 takeaways.
This has been the problem with Hayden Moore. Now, he doesn't look anybody off, so he goes right to his intended target, and then Jonathan Cook, with excellent defense against the guy Melanie talked about, was going to be key. Khalil Lewis, one-on-one with the safety. You have to win that matchup. He didn't. Cook is comfortable in man-to-man coverage, and I believe that defensive coordinator Chris Ball doesn't have a problem playing him or Chris Morley in man-to-man. You got to win that matchup if you're Lewis.
Ferguson apparently okay. End around play for Miller. He's their home run hitter. Anthony Miller, fastest player on this Tiger team. Chased out of bounds by Coleman. Get the football to Miller a lot tonight. 250 receiving yards against SMU. On the verge of a single season Memphis receiving record. Tough start for Cincinnati. Wow. Been a long year here. 2nd down. Dorcius. Edwards had a great angle, got around him, and Wilson stuffs him and then sends him out of bounds. But it's a 1st down for the Tigers. 1st and goal coming up here from the 5.
Well, the reason Edwards shoots this gap is because they're pulling around. And so now you've got number 53, Dustin Woodard, pulling around. So you take the back door and don't get over the top. When you have those guards pull, you lose a man defensively. Edwards took a risk.
Here's 1st and goal. It's Pollard, explosive freshman. Sent backwards by Kevin Muhan. True freshman from the city of Memphis, Tony Pollard. Brought back 2 kicks for touchdowns this year. It's been something.
And already we've seen the impact of the middle of the field. We talked about the spine in the open. We've got a linebacker make a play at interception, Curtis Akins. And now we're going to see if they're going to run this ball up the middle again. Brian Drew Kaiser.
Going to be Dorcius into the end zone. Touchdown. Dorland Dorcius of Memphis walks in easily. And the Tigers off to a great start on the road tonight.
It was a pretty good job on the outside by Daniel Montiel, their tight end. And he did a good job of hooking on the edge, and that's what allowed him to get outside. And this is an interesting formation right here. We want to get a look at this. They've actually faked out of this formation where they actually have Anthony Miller at quarterback and sometimes go for 2. You see Tommy Tuberville frustrated.
So frustrated. Nightmare start. Jake Elliott, who has never missed a PAT in his incredible Memphis career. 188 for 188. Hasn't missed one since high school. Got it. Keeps the streak alive. And what a start here, Corey, on the road for Memphis. 10-0, just like that.
Well, it all started with this. the linebacker, Akins, reading the eyes of the quarterback. He gets a break off of Cooks, and then he ends up picking it off. Got a flag down, Dave, so we're not going anywhere yet.
But you're all set to get us the break. It was really good. Well timed. Get some energy into it.
Not a long enough break for you to go eat, though.
We'll talk about that throughout the broadcast tonight. Don't you worry about it.
You already mentioned that I was going to grub up a little. Let's see what the flag is.
The point after touchdown is good. After the play, dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 23. 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Charles Lamartina, our referee tonight, and that's Eric Wilson, a personal foul after the PAT. Now, Corey, take us to break.
Well, we talked about the block on the edge, and Dorsey takes advantage.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Allegra Gel Caps. Not just fast, Allegra Fast. Starts working in 1 hour. Use as directed. By Ram Trucks. America's longest lasting pickups. And by Phillips 66. Proud to be here.
Fountain Square, downtown Cincinnati. The Genius of Water statue dedicated in 1871. It was a beautiful day here in Cincy. Total yards, look at that, Corey. Mike Norvell, the perfect start.
I mean, excellent start, but I mean, when you think about Cincinnati's defense, you wonder how they'll hold up, because they came out and did their job and held them to a field goal. Another turnover backed up, and Memphis gets an easy score.
Watch out. Elliott steps into the kickoff, and Lewis ventures out. Khalil Lewis is hit at the 5. That was a terrible idea. Thought about taking a knee.
You don't want to do this against Christian Slaughter, number 39. He's going to come down. I think Tony Pollard gets in here, too. And actually, it was Ty Northern, but Memphis, they've got to be a little bit better on third down. Kind of middle of the pack. Some drives have stalled. Gap control defense. They've given up some big plays when people have pulled around and changed the gaps up front. And those gaps include the offensive lineman moving around. 20-plus yard plays. Cincinnati already had an opportunity to make one. When the turnover battle, they're losing it already.
From the 5, poor field position start here for UC. Disastrous start. Here's more from his end zone. DJ Dowdy has a catch.
Well, Tion Green has to be a factor. Now, they've come out now and gone some empty, but Tion Green played with the most passion a week ago. He's run the ball the hardest of any of their backs all season. It's senior night, and he has to perform.
Bearcats leading rusher. Second down. Fake to Shumby Johnson. And Moore throwing, intercepted again. Second pick, Chris Morley has this one. And he's bumped out of bounds by Shumby Johnson. Another interception for Hayden Moore. And the Tigers get it back again on a short field.
Well, Morley's in the middle of the field right here. Now watch him get a break on the football, and he really settled his feet. Moore has to put more air on this football. He throws a flat pass right into the area, and really basically Morley kind of baited him into that throw. He made him think he was playing down a little bit lower. The disguise element, you got to be happy, really, if you're that secondary coach, because he knows that those types of things Marcus Woodson teaches. Saw him before the game working. And this graphic right here, he's not off to a good start. He's already matched his interception total from a year ago.
Unbelievable start. What a disaster. Change of quarterback here for Memphis. Jason Stewart is in. Ferguson is out. Hope to get a report from Melanie as soon as possible there. Riley Ferguson was injured on the first drive of the game. That resulted in a Memphis field goal from Elliott. So it's Jason Stewart, senior from Alexandria, Virginia, who last played against SMU in that 51-7 Tiger blowout in Dallas.
And I liked him in that game.
Handing off here. Stop made by Jalen Miner on Patrick Taylor, another freshman running back for Memphis.
You had to stay up late at night to catch him playing. And it was one of those late nights, but I was impressed with Tyler Stewart, comes from Fort Scott Community College, but you see Ferguson on the sideline again. He's not in the game, though, and Stewart is. He's efficient on receiver screens. He has nice accuracy, but this is his first big test against this tough Cincinnati defense.
Third down here, only his 4th game of the season. 3rd and long, quarterback draw for Stewart, who's nailed. Cortez Broughton, along with Brian Wright. Wright got to him on the defensive end, and it's a gain of 4 and a field goal attempt coming up here for Jake Elliott.
Now, Wright hasn't played a lot this year, but this is his 20th tackle already this season. And ever since he's come in the game, and that's what he liked to do with Stewart. He had a 21-yard run against SMU. He's got good mobility, but you got to get down against this Cincinnati defense. They tackle well.
Jake Elliott, 17 of 21 field goal tries this year. Got another one. He's money, All-American type career for Jake Elliott, one of the best kickers in the country. And the Tigers happy to have a senior from Western Springs, Illinois. Hayden Moore, terrible start, 2 early picks. See Tech as we check, Corey, the SEC East. How do you see it developing the last couple games?
Well, I think that Florida's defense has been underrated most of the year. They haven't done anything on the offensive end, but Georgia and Kentucky, can they make a push? I don't think so. Tennessee still has an opportunity, but I think they got a tough game against Vanderbilt coming up, and then they've also got a tough game tomorrow.
Elliott kicks off, and Lewis watches that sail over his head for a touchback. Tommy Tuberville told us on the field pregame, Corey, that Hayden Moore would not get replaced tonight, but 2 early picks. What do you think?
Well, this was just good coverage, and I think you got to give credit to Jonathan Cook and Curtis Akins on that play. And then now you cut back. That was really him getting fooled by Chris Morley. I believe Morley is probably one of the one player who's been as hot and cold as any safety I've seen on tape. He's going to make some wild plays. That was only his 2nd interception of the season, but he flashes as a hitter.
166-58 and counting on this snap. No touchdowns. Calls in motion. Streak of futility. Painful for Bearcat fans. Morley stops Keon Green. We mentioned that Mike Boone, foot injury out for the year. Usually it's a 1-2 punch with Green and Boone as we check the Chick-fil-A starting lineup for Memphis.
If he doesn't want to throw any more interceptions, stay away from this guy. Arthur Millette, as we got an injury on the field, but Millette is probably their most active player on the whole defense, in my opinion. He's an outstanding corner. And this kid, Austin Hall, who's down, he's also pretty active. He had 7.5 tackles for losses coming into the game, and he plays that star position for him. He'd be a big loss.
Collierville, Tennessee, right outside Memphis, all-state high school performer and a walk-on who's really played well. The coaches were raving about him this week. Chris Ball, their defensive coordinator, in our talk with him.
Well, the reason I think it's a big loss is because he's a 4-down player. He plays the R3 on the kickoff cover team. He's the right end on their spread punt unit, and he's the right tackle on their tight punt unit. So you can see from right here, he's looks like he's bending over. And
oh yeah, left leg right after the play was over, pretty much too. It was just run into by a Bearcat offensive lineman. That's a tough break there for Austin Hall. I hope he's all right. 55 tackles. Recovered a fumble and an onside kick in their win over Tulane this year. He has been so effective. Talk about it. A walk-on blossoming for you at Memphis. That's an amazing story.
And again, I like him on those special teams coverage units, so somebody's going to have to step in for that as well. And they're having problems getting lined up, Memphis, against this bunch set.
Green feature back, play fake to him. Gray has the catch, Devin Gray. A good pickup. Stopped by Ty Northern, who's replaced Hall in the lineup at that star, that hybrid linebacker spot. And can it be? Yes, a little sarcastic cheer. It's getting 6 and a first down for Cincinnati.
Well, Hall left the game, and Northern has to come in, and now he has to make all of these adjustments. He normally only plays in their dime packages.
It's a great point. Play fake to Green again. Gray on the slant is stopped and sent backwards.
DeMarco Montgomery, check this out. Now he's going to drop, and he has to cover the flats. Now watch how he beats Ryan Leahy to the spot. As a guard, you've got to get out and make that block. Montgomery beat it.
Some movement, flag down. Could be a free play here. As Tion Green takes on Akins. And a good pickup, getting out to the 45. Let's check out the marker.
Offside. Defense number 48. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That's Ernest Suttles. Got 4 tackles for loss this year. Redshirt junior from Tampa. Guilty party that time. So second down. The Cats look a little more comfortable on this drive after a nightmarish start with 2 early picks. So second down. Gray can't bring that one in. Arthur Mallett on coverage.
Be careful. You're going to challenge him. He's a competitive player. And the coaches have raved about his practice habits, reminiscent of Marcus Trufant, a guy that really Chris Ball coached a long time back in the day when he was at Washington State. So this guy's competitive.
That's a great comparison. So third down here. Whistles and a timeout call.
You gotta be.
Takes the first charge timeout of the half. This is a full timeout.
You gotta be salivating if you're Hayden Moore. They're about to play man coverage on that down. That's what you're hoping for when you get back in the lineup.
Covering everything from the field through fantasy. Tops puts a fresh spin on your NFL pregame show. Join our team Sunday morning at 9 Eastern for another pregame show right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Buffalo here in Cincinnati this weekend. Bengals Bills coming up. Futility last 2 games. Wow. Field goals lost here. Game we call against BYU and last week at UCF.
Well, right there, 28%. It's third down right now. It's 3rd and 4, and you're going against one of the better defenses in the country on this down. A conversion will get some confidence going. You mentioned it earlier.
Really important for UC to respond here. Down already 13-0. Off the timeout. Pressure off the edge. Sticks around Cole. Has got it. The spot looks good. And a first down for Cincinnati. Much needed.
And it was an option route by Cole. He goes immediately to the flats. They dropped off in the zone and Moore read it. They showed him a blitz look, and that's what you're going to get from Memphis. They're going to give you a lot of different looks on third down. Moore has to be able to decipher through them. Did a good job on that last snap.
Calls in motion, play fake to Green. So Moore with some time delivers. Cody Lewis has a catch. If it's on the money, he's running into the end zone for a Bearcat touchdown, but still a good pickup, first down UC.
Man, there's so much room. If he stays on his feet, watch this. There's nobody back here. He might have had a touchdown. A lot of open room if you make an accurate throw by Moore. He has to fall down to make that catch.
Off the gate of 17. Lots of pressure. And Moore launches that into the third row. He was getting some heat from Jannard Avery, who's one of the top linebackers in the country. And now we're going to get a grounding call.
Well, he wasn't outside of the tackle box, so you're going to get that if you...
Intentional grounding. Offense number 8. Spot foul.
You can see
Loss him
he's
down.
not outside of it.
It is second down.
Going to get outside of that tackle box to make that throw. And it's got to at least reach the line of scrimmage as well. So Moore has had some of these types of plays. He had the fumbles last week against UCF.
And a pick.
Right, and that was almost returned for a touchdown if it wasn't for the block. And now we've already had it. So he's got to limit the big errors. I think that's been the big knock on Moore.
Loss him down. So devastating. Second and 23. More pressure. Moore is running. Stopped by Avery. Help from Akins. Hayden Moore picks up 8. Third and long coming up, though.
This is where they feast at. Now they're going to bring in their speed package. So you're going to have number 29. He's going to come into the game, Darian Porter. You're going to have number 2, Ty Northern. Now he's leaving the field now. They're going to bring back in DeMarco Montgomery. They may all be. We saw last week everybody standing up with Houston. These guys do a lot of different looks as well.
Third down. Screen set up. Green. Nowhere to go. Suttles all over him. And Porter there as well. Right on cue. Mr. Chavis. Darian Porter helped blow that up from his will linebacker spot.
Well, he's a JC transfer. He's come in, and he's, to me, in the film that I've seen, one of their more active players. And I like him off the edge as a pass rusher as well. Some missed tackles have shown up, but overall a very active player.
Sam Geraci will kick to the explosive Anthony Miller.
They call that safe shit?
Fastest Tiger. He's dangerous. Lets that one go into the end zone for a touchback.
I can't believe that.
And it goes in the end zone. It'll go out to the 20. Back down to Melanie Collins. Injuries, what's happening down there?
Thank you, Dave. Well, they won't disclose anything to me about Riley Ferguson's injury or status. He's kind of just been sitting on a back bench on the sideline, chatting with trainers, and then casually walking around. His helmet is off. He has a hat on now, so I'll update you if and when I find anything else out about him. Meanwhile, linebacker Austin Hall, his left knee is being evaluated, and his return at the moment is questionable, Dave.
Here's that hit, Corey, he took. Thank you, Melanie, for that. Wilson on the blitz. Right into the left rib cage there, Riley Ferguson. So Jason Stewart handing to Dorcius. Got one touchdown, gets by Jacobs. And a standing run. Marquise Copeland. 20-yard gain, but there is a flag down. This could come back.
They're going to run
Holding.
over this left side. You
Offense
can see
number 72. 10-yard penalty.
You kind of get the penalty in that
down.
area by number 72. He pretty much tackled Trevon Tate. Tackled Moni Fitz on the edge, and it was a good block by Dustin Woodard getting up to the second level. You had something developing. He's had some struggles. Tate is another guy who started last year at the right tackle position. He's had some problems in pass protection. Very athletic player.
Patrick Taylor, team's second leading yardage producer coming into the game tonight. 438 yards behind Dorlan Dorcius. See Henderson, Taylor, Dorcius, and Pollard all carry the ball tonight, and of course the quarterbacks. Stewart's job now. Here's second down. Patrick Stewart. Montiel has the catch. Cut down by Edwards.
To the tight end, number 80, Daniel Montiel.
It's again at 15, and Montiel slow to get up. That's more bad news for Memphis. He is a key part of this offense. 7 career touchdown catches, including one against USF last week. Wow.
And he had an injury late in that USF game. This is Zach Edwards coming in with the really well-timed blow to his right leg, and Montiel is developed into a player that they depend a lot on in 2-minute situations, and that was evident against South Florida. He was a big reason they were able to get down the field. He's always been pretty good up the seams, but you know, I think this is a kid with a bright future. Hopefully he's going to come back from this.
Redshirt senior from Arlington, Texas. 10 catches, 100 yards in that 7-point thriller last week. Lost at the Liberty Bowl to USF. Tigers had first and goal from inside the 5 to try to tie the game last week, and Dietrich Nichols said no.
Dietrich Nichols, what a performance by him. They get excited at three plays in a row against this team.
3 in a row.
But I like the guy that they have, the freshman Joey Magnifico, and I also think Sean Dykes, he's had some moments. They played him a lot. They've gotten a lot of experience within their attack, so the tight end will still be a big part of their offense. In fact, right now Magnifico is in.
So Jason Stewart Redshirt senior from Alexandria, Virginia, takes over for the injured Riley Ferguson. And a play fake. On the wall right with Lujan. Providing pressure. Edwards almost picked that off. Magnifico, the intended receiver, incomplete.
I believe this is Kevin Lujan. He's got 9 tackles for losses, and he's a power player. So when he connects, you're going to feel it, even if it's just a chest shot.
Second down. Play fake. Stewart. That RPO throws to Miller. Makes a tackler miss. Edwards doesn't miss much. But Coleman had a shot at him. Grant Coleman could not make the tackle to the boundary there. Gain of 15.
You're exactly right. It's the run pass option. They're run blocking up front. He now is on the move. And then look at that move by Miller one-on-one with Grant Coleman. Outstanding.
First down. Taylor picks up 2. True freshman from Humble, Texas, outside Houston. Those 3 possessions for Mike Norvell's team. Continuing the excellence the Tigers have built up in the last 2 years under Justin Fuente, now the head coach at Virginia Tech. 3rd straight bowl season for the Tigers. Taylor delay handoff, and Cortez Broughton wrestles him down from behind. He's a big guy, 300 pounds. Gets out to about midfield. Now it's 3rd down. The Bearcats need something, Cole.
Well, they're getting something's
got to get created.
Well, they're getting something from the inside of their defensive line. We talked about that being an advantage for them in this game. I think they've won inside. Here's where the man coverage element, I believe, comes in. Can they stop Miller?
3rd down. Pressure off the edge. Taylor has a catch on the wheel route. That's going to be a first down for Memphis. There was lots of pressure coming there from Kinnan in the face of Stewart. That's Antonio Canard make that. Stewart got the pass off. Gain of 6. Big conversion. Pollard breaks the tackle. Coleman just got enough of him to bring him down. Pollard's got the great wheels. As we finish up the first quarter, and the Tigers on the move against a gain of 12. Mike Norvell. Tony Pollard off to a great start against Tommy Tuberville and struggling Cincinnati. And the first 13-0 Tigers over the Bearcats. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico. Playing days back to the Razorback State. Tommy Tuberville was a free safety at Southern Arkansas. Graduated back in 1976. Mike Norvell from Irving, Texas, and then plays college football at Central Arkansas, one of the all-time leading receivers in that program's history. And we asked Mike about that this week on our conference call. Nothing but the utmost respect for Tommy Tuberville and what he's meant to college football. In the SEC, the Big 12, and of course now in the American Conference. Shovel pass. Sean Dykes, true freshman tight end, getting that shovel pass. Interesting call there for coordinator Chip Long. Gain of 6. Second quarter underway. Jason Stewart just joining us, taking over for Riley Ferguson, injured in the first series of the game. Starting quarterback for the Tigers. Looked like a rib injury, has not returned. On second down, Dorland Dorcius runs strong, runs angry, breaks the tackles, keeps on trucking inside the 10. Finally wrestled down by Mike Tyson. How about the second and third efforts there for Dorland Dorcius?
Sweet feet.
215 pounds of power there, partner. Wow. First and goal, Tigers with Stewart. QB draw. Stewart toward the end zone, close at the 1. Is where he'll be marked by the officiating crew here tonight in Cincinnati. Second and goal.
And I don't think it was close, but
QB sneak. Stop short. About the half-yard line. So 3rd and goal coming up. Antonio Kennard, senior from Youngstown, Ohio. 17 seniors, final home game tonight at Nippert.
Well, this is a big down right here. It's 3rd down. If you can be able to maybe stop, you got 5 first downs on this drive. They only had 5 the first 3 possessions. And so this is a huge moment, I think, for the Cincinnati defense.
Memphis takes the first charge timeout of the half.
Mike Norvell will take a timeout here. Got 2 play stoppages remaining. We are going to have a review on the Stewart attempted QB sneak there for the touchdown. Buddy Ward, our replay official, communicators Kevin Collins in the press box with us. Corey, let's take a look. What do you think?
I don't think it's a touchdown.
No evidence there. The ball broke the plane.
This might be a better look.
It's all about the ball breaking the plane to the goal line.
I don't think you had Eric Wilson and Antonio Kennard. And they were helped by Alex Pace and Cortez Broughton down low. I mean, that's the matchup we talked about at the beginning of the game. There you have it. Drew Kaiser, they're trying to get some push up the middle. Behind him, Dustin Woodard and Gabe Kuhn. And Cincinnati rose to the challenge. But that down, when they end up saying and confirming the call on the field, this is the down you got to be careful on right here. Because Memphis likes to boot.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It is 3rd down.
At about the half-yard line, so 3rd and goal. The Bearcats need another stop here, Cole.
You have to be careful with this kid's mobility to be disciplined with your eyes. They like to do a lot of bootlegs in this part of the field. So if he's under center, that's a possibility to bootleg. And I'm going to tell you, you got to look out for on this play. Right here, number 86, Joey Magnifico. Now, he's actually scored on a bootleg against SMU.
3rd and goal. Dorcius is stopped.
Big time play, man.
Got to the backfield and slowed him down enough. Then got some help. Now it's 4th and goal. We'll see what Mike Norvell has in mind here.
You got to be impressed with this Cincinnati defense. They're 6th nationally in red zone defense in terms of TD percentage, and it all comes down right here. They get a stop here. I believe everything changes in terms of your mentality if you're Cincinnati.
Big play. 4th and goal. Play fake. Magnifico has it. Touchdown, Memphis. Joey Magnifico. 2nd career touchdown.
We just mentioned it a second ago. He was the guy on the bootleg. You got to be careful about that in this part of the field. Here we go. Magnifico in the backfield. And you got to have the discipline with your eyes if you're Eric Wilson. He kind of gets rubbed off by his cornerback, Grant Coleman.
Another PAT for Jake Elliott. And it is 20-0. Daniel Montiel out with an injury. Magnifico. Magnificent. It's too easy, right? You gotta do that. Filling in for Montiel.
You couldn't help yourself.
4th down conversion, touchdown, and Tommy Tuberville says, oh man, we needed that stop. Didn't get it.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Auto Trader. Find the perfect new, used, or certified pre-owned car on Auto Trader. By Sonic. Fly on over for buy one, get one free boneless wings, Monday through Thursday after 5 p.m. And by Go RVing. Find your away. Go RVing.
Eric Wilson, Ryan Leahy, Tion Green, Gunnar Keel, seniors playing their final home game in historic Nippert Stadium. Another field goal kick. Jake Elliott at PAT after the field goals tonight. It's been a big game tonight, certainly for Memphis. Melanie's got more on senior night here at Nippert.
Thank you, Dave. Well, in honor of the senior class, each player's helmet has a stripe down the center with the names of all the seniors on this roster. We had a chance to speak with senior linebacker Eric Wilson yesterday, who told us his message to this defense this week was to stay positive, go all out, and his main goal coming to this program was just to be a leader. And Coach Tuberville told us he's done that. He's sacrificed for the team, moving from outside linebacker to Mike, and he's one of their rocks on defense that doesn't have to lead vocally, always shows up by example. He leads the American in tackles and is 8th nationally, Dave.
Great career, Melanie, certainly here. Elliott's kick is into the end zone for a touchback. I love the sticker on the top of the helmet as well on senior night. Now, Batman was here, Corey. Apparently, the Joker had kicked earlier. Oh, it's after Halloween. I'm not sure why he's dressed up like that, but he made the field goal right into the student section.
I'm more impressed with the belt.
Look at how pumped up he is. And you know what? When your team's down 20-0 and you're in this slot, they've lost 3 straight, 5 of 6. You'll cheer for anything if you're a Bearcat fan right now. It's just been an absolute nosedive, free fall for this team.
Well, if I'm on the Cincinnati offense, I can't let him get the biggest cheer tonight.
Because it's been by far the biggest cheer so far. A lot of people in Memphis, Tennessee are cheering right now, but not here in Cincinnati. Look at that count, 175-58 and counting. No touchdown, Tion Green. First down carry, stopped by Sharif White, junior from Grenada, Mississippi. It's gained a 4 there. Tommy Tuberville knew it'd be tough without Mike Boone to establish a run game tonight. Lots of jet sweep looks we've seen. But now you're playing behind by 3 scores. Cole has the catch. Stopped there by Cook.
Well, it's been a comedy of errors thus far for Hayden Moore in terms of the interceptions. And the last drive, they were able to get some things going. And the receiver screen game seems like that might be an option for them. Better blocking on the last snap from Khalil Lewis opened it up for Cole. Let's see if they can get into a rhythm.
That play did result in a first down. Pressure off the edge. And Moore throws on the move. Pass line of scrimmage that time. Out of the tackle box, so no grounding. No Bearcat close to it. Incomplete.
You're going to see him come back around at number 29 again, Darian Porter. And then the coverage down the field. We talked about Alderman letting open, and look at him just really use a bell technique and lock down Khalil Lewis with no problem. Nowhere to go.
On second down. Go route Lewis. A little miscommunication there. And Mollett on coverage. Did the pressure cause the early throw?
Well, I think it's just an example, really, of Mollett beating him with his feet. Watch him at the bottom down there. You see how he takes away the outside release? Moore's expecting him to go outside. So he forces him back inside to his help. It's excellent technique by Mollett, who I thought you would not want to challenge tonight. You just wasted another down.
Mollett, 9 passes broken up. Got a couple picks this year. Playmaker in the secondary. 3rd and long. More running. Gerard Avery stops him in space. Chris Ball, defensive coordinator for Memphis, told us Gerard Avery, probably the top pro prospect on that side of the ball. But I know you evaluate for a living.
Right,
your jobs.
Absolutely,
College
man.
prospect for the next level. Where does Avery fall in your mind?
I think he's a good prospect as a 30 front, which would be a 3-4 scheme inside linebacker. I think he has pretty good foot speed. He's an excellent blitzer. Some teams may look at him as a rush backer.
Anthony Miller waits the kick from Geraci, indicates for and makes the fair catch at the 11.
In fact, at Draft Nasty, we're probably going to have him as an outside linebacker, rush prospect. He's that good off the edge.
We're going to need more of your evaluations tonight. That's coming up. 20-0, Memphis on top.
Welcome back to Nippert Stadium, everybody. Memphis holding Cincinnati scoreless by a score of 20-0. And each week, the Memphis coaching staff, along with the strength and conditioning coach Josh Storms, chooses a player who's had an exceptional week of preparation to carry the sledgehammer out onto the field. This week, it's wide receiver Daniel Hurd. He's a 5th-year senior who hadn't played a lot before this season, but coach told us he plays with a toughness and an unselfishness that this sledgehammer symbolizes. after the game is over, the player of the game will take the sledgehammer and break a black stone that symbolizes the overall goal for the game. The goal for the team in 2016, lead the country in takeaways, guys. Right now, they're 3rd nationally.
Sledgehammer, Melanie, certainly working tonight. Daniel Hurd, offense back in the field. And Pollard has a big pickup. Jacobs to stop, steamrolled there. Carter Jacobs by Tony Pollard, gain of 12, first down.
And I like that report because about the sledgehammer, because Daniel Hurd is another player who plays significant reps on the special teams, and he is like a hammer. He's a thick player to be a receiver, tough player.
Hurd's got 16 catches this year, 3 career touchdown grabs for Daniel, including one against USF last week. And that wild shootout game, Pollard carries there on first down, gain of 2.
Well, he's one of those guys.
49-42 Bull win. That was a fantastic game last weekend, the Liberty Bowl.
It really was, and you see another shot of him. Man, look how big he is. You can see how strong he is. And talking about hammers, he's got some guns.
He does. He was fun to watch during the warm-ups on the field. That's some big dudes down there. The big playmaker is Anthony Miller. Has not been featured. They haven't really needed him. Montiel's back in. That's good news for Memphis. Pollard carries and is sent backwards. Loss of 2. Stopped by Chris Burton. Jason Stewart. 2 community colleges, not 1 but 2. Dodge City Community College. Fort Scott in Kansas. Was Paxton Lynch back up last year at Memphis. Very little playing time this year, but Riley Ferguson injured first drive of the game, hit by Eric Wilson in the ribs. And Stewart's come in to replace him and been pretty effective. 3rd down. Pressure off the edge from Wilson. Patrick Taylor has the catch on the outlet, but nowhere near the marker. And the yards needed for a first down. And yes, the Tigers have to punt the football away with either Spencer Smith or Nick Jacobs, their rugby kicker. It's going to be Smith here, the leading punter in the American Conference.
And you got to have your back of the defense now if you're this offense, if you're this punt return unit. I think this is something that's key. Braden Bird maybe helping field position.
Little pressure. Smith gets it off. Braden Beard. Fair caught at about the 34. Bearcats desperate for offense. 42-yard punt. Spencer Smith, 20-0 game. Facts, former Cincinnati assistants, now head coaches in the NFL. John Harbaugh for the Ravens. Rex Ryan spent 96 and 97 here in the Queen City. And Mike Tomlin, head coach of the Steelers, spent the 99-2000 seasons as defensive assistant for the Bearcats, en route to head coaching jobs in the NFL. Those guys are defensive guys.
Not a bad list.
Offense miserable here for Tommy Tuberville and the Bearcats. 81-6 outscored in that span. 3 points in each of the last 2 games. A loss here to BYU and at UCF last week, 24-3. Can they break the streak? Khalil Lewis a touch and some pretty good speed. Tracked down by Chris Morley, strong safety for Memphis.
And he can run. And that's one thing about Morley. Now, the tackling has been a little bit inconsistent, but you can see he went all over the place. Had a forced fumble against Memphis from the middle of the field, and some downhill hits against USF a week ago.
2nd down. Lewis on the screen. Johnson finds him. Christian Johnson, good tackle in space. But Khalil Lewis has got the wheels, and Zach Taylor, Bearcats offensive coordinator, told us all yesterday in our meeting, they'll try to get Lewis the ball a lot more today. He's their home run threat.
But Dave, one thing that this offense, somebody has to break a tackle and score. They have 11 passing plays of 30 or more yards the whole season.
Just unbelievable. Play fake to Shelby Johnson and Hayden Moore. Fouls up a deep ball for Gray with Mullet on coverage. Sticking to him like glue, incomplete at the 20.
Now this is a double move by Gray. Now I want to show you the footwork of Arthur Mullet. Watch this. He backpedals, he settles, and then he turns and runs up the sidelines and cuts him off, then turns and finds the ball. You want to talk about NFL prospects? That's the NFL prospect. He'll be playing on Sundays next year.
I like it. I like it, Chavis. Senior from Harvey, Louisiana, Arthur Mullet. 2nd down. fake the jet sweep. Moore keeps. Dances outside. There's Mollett and Jannard Avery. They'll bump him out of bounds. Third down coming up. Mollett picked 6 last year against Cincinnati at the Liberty Bowl in that wild 53-46 shootout where Hayden Moore set an American Conference record and a Cincinnati single-game record, 557 passing yards. Mollett trying to shut that down tonight. He's off to a great start.
And this is the guy to watch. There he goes. To my Jannard Avery. You've always got to prepare for him on this down because of his rush ability.
Here's third down. Good protection. Then it breaks down. Chris Morley, safety blitz, the sack on Hayden Moore. Loss of 8.
Well, Morley likes to sneak up as well. You can see Morley, he's coming up behind Avery. And watch how he times this. Now, you're one-on-one with Deontay Buckley. You got to beat him. Gets inside of Buckley and makes the sack. Buckley is a guy who I thought was pretty good in pass protection, but excellent play by Morley.
Miller makes a fair catch at about the 13, and Memphis will get it back. Up by 20 already. Morley. First sack of the season goes against Hayden Moore. Comes in the NFL. Isaac Bruce, your former teammate on the list.
Wow, and can Anthony Miller pass him? Stephen Gostowski. What a job he's done in the league. D'Angelo Williams and other players been outstanding. Terry Paul. And guess what? Jake Elliott, he'll be joining them in the NFL.
School record, 78 career field goals made. Passing the great Stephen Gostkowski. Now the Patriots, how about that? Future pro on the field, Elliott. Doran Dorcius, Wilson Kennard and company stand him up. Short gain there for Doran Dorcius on first down. All Tigers tonight. Bowl bound already with 6 wins. 2 games left in the regular season. Bearcats have their backs to the wall. On second down, Stewart on a slant. Flag flies for the back judge. Intended for Miller. We could have a pass interference call against the Bearcats.
Well, if you're Jason Stewart, you got to attack that matchup. Your best receiver against their nickelback, basically linebacker Mike Tyson. Draws the flag.
There is no foul for defensive pass interference. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Once they determine it's tipped, of course, there can't be pass interference. So ball's tipped, that kind of takes it away. But you still got to attack this matchup if you're Jason Stewart. I think it's an excellent job of recognizing it. He got there a little bit early. I don't know about the call anyway.
I don't think the ball was tipped there by Cortez.
Well, I didn't think it was pass interference.
Of a tip ball at the line of scrimmage is under further review.
This play is under review. I did not see Broughton tip that ball. It's all about the football changing directions. Let's take a look here. Had a great look a moment ago from behind the scrimmage. Maybe there.
I think it was tipped by Cortez Broughton.
Yeah, the look from behind just a moment. Here it is. Here's the one.
No, he didn't.
I didn't see it at all.
No,
that's the one I was talking about.
I got you. No, he did not tip it.
This is reviewable. No way. No. Great look there from our crew. Fantastic crew led by our director, Jeff Mitchell.
Too bad for Cincinnati they can't review the pass interference because now that's going to stand and you're going to have a first down for Memphis.
Tommy Tuberville taking on the Tigers tonight at Tulsa next week. That'll be a very tough game to win. Looking at a possible 4-8 this year.
This is such an important call. Determining that call remains the same, which I don't think they will, and we agree on that, right?
We do.
And that means they're going to have another first down, and you're going to continue to let Jason Stewart and this Memphis offense eat time off the clock. And you need to get a score before the end of this half in some kind of way. If you're Cincinnati, it's probably going to be on this defense to cause a turnover.
Here comes the call from Charles Lambertine.
After further review, the ball was not tipped at the line of scrimmage. Therefore, we have pass interference. Defense, number 5. Spot foul, automatic, first down.
So the pass interference stands.
You can see Tyson, he's sitting on Miller, and he grabs a little bit with that inside arm. I mean, that a little bit, you could argue it, but his left hand got there a little bit early around the waist, and I think that's what they saw initially. And whenever you see those shoulders turn from the receiver, you see his shoulders turn back a little bit, you know they're gonna call you. Tyson loves to use that technique where he sits off at about 5 yards and lets the receiver come to him. Unfortunately, they got him. He's got to keep playing aggressive, though.
Missed 2 games with an ankle injury. 3 interception game for Tyson against Purdue. Boy, it seems like a lifetime ago for Tommy Tuberville. They're off to a great start, won their first 2 games. Tennessee Martin, a win at Purdue, had a 3-1 start after winning over rival Miami, Ohio in this stadium. Things have not gone well since. Heard the motion man. Pollard stopped by Wilson, sent right backwards. Big play for the senior on senior night. First drive of the game. Riley Ferguson hit by Eric Wilson. Corey has not returned.
It was a well-timed blitz. They were playing some man coverage on that play. It was Tyson again, and he made a good play on that one against wasn't a great pass because of the pressure by Wilson. And this is what you want. It's 2nd down and 14. These are the plays where you can create a turnover if you're Cincinnati.
Redshirt senior Stewart's taking over. Delay handoff. Pollard. Alex Pace wrestles him down, shy of the 20. So 3rd and long here for Memphis. Already up by 3 scores. We don't even want to talk about the Bearcats' lack of scoring in the second half, do we? They need to get something going now here, Corey. You got the first half.
Well, you got to make a decision. Do you pressure, or do you sit back and play zone because it's 3rd down and 12? It looks like they're going to play some zone coverage.
Stewart has some time. Delivers. Taylor the catch. He's dropped at the 26, well shy. The yardage needed to the 31. It's gain of 7.
And they've done their job again, Dave, right? They've gotten off the field again. I mean, when you look at their 3rd down percentages, I mean, what's Memphis now? 3 out of 8, 3 out of 7 on 3rd down. So it's not like they haven't gotten off the field. The offense has to provide some support. And maybe it's with Gray on this punt return.
Spencer Smith on the punt. And Braden Beard, twin safeties back with Devin Gray, makes the fair catch. Bearcats struggling offensively. Been emblematic of the 3-game losing streak, dropping 5 of the last 6. There's the pick from Aikens to set up an early score. And then it's Moreland.
A lot of flat passes. Not enough air on some of the passes from Hayden Moore. And I see a player that's, at this point, struggling with his confidence after a rough week against UCF. He's trying to get back into a rhythm for this team.
There's first down. Tion Green runs left. Breaks the tackle of Jonathan Cook. And Mollett help finish him off, along with help from Latarius Brady.
He's getting outside, and he breaks one tackle by Jonathan Cook. I talked about those missed tackles, but then Latarius Brady, who is running to the ball, Mollett, you mentioned it, there to get their teammates back.
Mesh play. Tion Green. Ball down. With a flag down and recovered by Memphis.
It's going to be a holding call, and that's going to stay with Memphis, and that was Chris Morley with the forced fumble.
Offense number 64. The penalty is declined. Result of the play. First down.
Latarius Brady recovers the fumble for Memphis. Another turnover in a short field here for the Tigers. They are in business again, Corey.
I think it was number 17, Chris Morley, and we talked about that forced fumble earlier. Watch him come in out of nowhere. Bam! And he puts that helmet on the ball along with Ty Northern. And I saw a forced fumble like this from him against Tulsa. We talked about it. He set up the angle, and really, I'm sorry, it's Ty Northern. It's not Chris Morley. Northern caused the fumble. They kind of both combined on it, but Northern, what a hit.
And it's right back to the offense here. Stewart, the redshirt senior out of Virginia. Little confusion maybe in the mesh play, and Wilson catches up with him. Gets hit hard. Ball came out at the end. Kennard hoping to recover that, but no fumble. Help from Kamani Fitz as well against Jason Stewart.
You're going to see Eric Wilson line him up.
Stewart's coming out of the game here.
Well, they go to a package sometimes with number 6, Patrick Taylor at quarterback. And it's kind of like the wild tiger.
It's the wild tiger.
And they do this a lot. So this isn't a surprise.
So it's Taylor. He'll keep the freshman.
Or at least it better not be a surprise with Cincinnati.
Stopped by Chris Burton of the Bearcats.
They did this a lot against Tulsa in my film study, and it was very effective.
Taylor, originally the Colorado commit, the Big 12, changed course and has made a big impact for the Tigers this year as a freshman. Stays out there, the Wild Tiger, and keeps. With a flag down into the end zone for a touchdown, but let's see, there is a marker on the field. Let's see if this will stand.
Either going to be Trevon Tate or Dustin Woodard on that left side. They're going to get up for a hold again. And they're talking a little bit of noise now.
25 yards of the touchdown stands.
On that left side.
Probably not.
Holding, offense number 53. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Dustin Woodard in that area, he just tackles Zach Edwards. Wow.
Freshman offensive lineman from Chandler, Arizona near Phoenix.
That's the attitudes you want, though.
3rd down. Stewart back in, play fake. Doran Dorcius has the catch. Tiptoeing sideline, steps out of bounds. At the 19, that is enough for a Tiger 1st down. Nice athleticism there for Doran Dorcius.
And I like the block by the center, Drew Kaiser. He got all the way out there and was making a block. Look at Kaiser. He put the hat on Zach. I can't wait to take another look at that one. That was outstanding range by Kaiser.
Here's 1st down. Dorcius carries up the middle, breaks a couple tackles, gets to the 2nd level. Jacobs hangs on and prevents another Tiger touchdown. It's another 1st down run for Memphis. Gain of 11 for Doran Dorcius. 1st and goal. Dorcius has the only 100-yard rushing game this year. That came against Bowling Green. Carries here. Pace can't stop him. No one can. End zone. Touchdown. Tigers. Doran Dorcius.
This is an example, I believe, of attrition. The number of snaps they're on the field over and over. You begin to get tired. How many times you want them to stop him? And then you get the double team executed perfectly on the right side by Christopher Roberson and Gabe Kuhn.
Jake Elliott. 191 straight PATs. Active leader in the FBS in that category. There is a flag down. Hang on. Alex Pace getting upset. Got to be so much frustration for the Bearcat defense. They played their guts out again here tonight. And the offense has done nothing to help out.
Point after touchdown is good. After the play, dead ball foul, personal foul, defense number 99. Hands to the face, tearing off the player's helmet. 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
That is the senior from Cleveland, Alex Pace. And now things are just boiling over here, Corey, for Tommy Tuberville's team.
Yeah, well, I mean, that says it all. The touchdown, it's all about this left side of the line, these three guys, watch how they end up taking really Cortez Broughton out on a double team. Really a triple team.
Triple team.
And then that is what enabled Dorsey to cut back. And he has the vision. You mentioned the feet earlier, the vision, pace not able to get to him. And again, I'm going to put this a little bit of this on the number of plays. Coming into this football game, Cincinnati 107th in the country. They had 444 rushing attempts against them. We'll get into that in a second.
That's an incredible number. Lewis bobbles a bit, then regains. Looks for the edge and some room. And knocked out of bounds at the 21. The Bearcats will take over here. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. Brett Stover, Christian Fourier, Houston Nutt standing by in our New York studio. Preview tomorrow's action-packed slate. Also give an update on the UNLV Boise State game going on tonight. That's a huge game for the Mountain West Conference there. How about Houston? 11 sacks last night.
That defense is just, it's unbelievable in terms of what they can do with Todd Orlando. We saw it a week ago and how they can create just an uneasy feeling for the quarterback in the pocket.
Ed Oliver. Man-child, right?
Absolutely.
He was incredible again last night. There's Lewis, sideline route. And he tiptoes out of bounds at about the 29. With a minute 19 here to go, Corey, in the first half, and 2 timeouts for the Bearcats. Gain of 8. Tough night again for UC. There's Braden Beer in the catch. Let's get back to Houston's win last night. What does that mean for the American and Tom Herman? Yes, they had the 2 losses this year. But that's a huge victory.
Well, I think it means a lot because of the fact that Navy beat them and the fact that South Florida beat Navy. And so now you start to see different teams. I think their ante in terms of how people look at the conference is a little bit different. And that's what SMU beat Houston, for crying out loud.
More steps up. Some pressure, and down he goes. Hit by Pennington. So the American Conference West Division, what a year it's been for Tulsa. Now Navy has a chance to clinch the West. They've got the tiebreaker on everybody.
Yeah.
Another great season for the Mids. There's Gray in the catch. Lanier bumps him out of bounds.
And it's a drive where you've got to score a touchdown. You've got to give your defense a note. We talked about those rushing attempts earlier. They're still in the middle of the pack in the country in rush defense. You're not helping your defense out. This is a big drive for Hayden Moore.
Off gain of 16. Here's first down. Pressure off the edge. And complete. Lanier, really closest player to it. He plays for Memphis. And Sean Rupert on coverage as well.
Excuse me, David. I just want to say one thing about this big drive for Hayden Moore. As we see Devin Gray, if he does, I believe that if they replace him in Ross Trail, they're going to go that route, and there's not going to be another opportunity. So a lot of talent for Moore. This is really a big drive for him in terms of confidence.
Here's second down. And here with throws Beard incomplete. Fans getting restless here. Are you talking about his future as in possibly a transfer?
Well, my point is, what is going the quarterback carousel, as we've talked about. You've got the team. They lost. They split the team when he went to Gunner Kill. That's what happened to this season. And basically, it was tough because I believe that Zach Taylor and Tommy Tuberville, they probably would have liked to have stayed with Moore originally.
Third down. Pressure. Avery got there first. Jadon Avery showing us why he's so good off the edge. And a timeout call here, 34 seconds. It's a loss of 5. Bearcats, that revolving door we talked about, top of the broadcast. Hayden Moore started, got hurt against Houston. Ross Trail came in. We saw Moore's return at UConn.
This is outstanding. You can really see anybody who doesn't even know the story of this. They see this, they see how this is put together. So you come back to Moore after Trail. You go back to Kill for the first time all season. And then all of a sudden, Moore is back starting a week ago. And there's a shot of both players. But when I say split, and this is a split screen, I think it was a split team. And what I mean by that is not necessarily, I don't blame Tommy Tuberville because you got some seniors clamoring for Kill, and on the other side, you've got a lot of people in the Moore camp because they haven't seen Kill, including maybe the people you're bringing in now to have to coach these kids. So it's a tough position that Tommy Tuberville was put in. And I think at some point you had to give Kill an opportunity, but he just didn't come through.
Played well in his first game, had 3 touchdown passes in that win here against East Carolina. Miller receives the punt from Geraci. Half a minute to go. Miller, explosive. Nowhere to go this time. Turnovers, a story again.
Well, I mean, this has been something for me with Moore coming into the game. Would he turn the ball over? That's what he did a week ago against UCF. He turned the ball over in that game, and then in this game he had to protect the football. All of these quarterbacks have made big mistakes. They've had 3 interceptions returned for touchdowns this season. Tonight, nearly a third. Look at the points off of the takeaways. You're not giving your defense an opportunity to truly compete because you're giving them the football. One of the best red zone defenses in the country. Remember, Cincinnati is only 5 teams better than them in red zone defense. LSU, Ohio State, Auburn, Alabama, and Wisconsin in terms of giving up touchdowns.
Here's Stewart passing. Final moments of the half, and he's caught from behind by Kamani Fitz.
Did you hear those names?
Yeah, I sure did.
Yeah, so it's a lot of good defense being played at Cincinnati. We have to tell the whole story.
Team divided, I like that. That is a key part of the struggles for the Bearcats. Mike Norvell, the tradition of Gary Patterson, and then Justin Fuente. Coach Fuente took it from Coach P at TCU, brought it to Memphis. He'll meet with his team for a few seconds afterward, and then we'll hear from Mike Norvell and Melanie in a few moments. His team up by 27, and Tommy Tuberville, that's a tough run to the locker room.
But to me, I don't understand. I guess we'll get into it later, but Tommy Tuberville has a defense here that he can build around and do some big things in this conference. 2 years ago, they were the co-conference champions. So the cupboard is not bare in Cincinnati.
Absolutely not. His first 3 years, bowl game.
Exactly. I mean,
it's his first losing season, assuming they lose here tonight.
It comes down to Kill, and we'll get into it as the game goes on.
Melanie is joined in the field by Mike Norvell.
Thank you, Dave. Coach, a great first half for your team. First of all, what did you say to the guys in the huddle there before the half?
We talked about playing a 60-minute game. I'm really pleased with how we came out in the first half. You're playing pretty clean football. Now we have to go finish.
The injuries have piled up for you guys. We haven't seen Riley Ferguson since the first drive of the game. And then with Stewart having to go out there, you had to go in Wildcat for a few plays there. Any update on Ferguson's injury?
Yeah, we're going to continue to evaluate it. Probably doubtful to return for tonight, but I believe it'll be fine.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Great question, Mel. Thanks. So probably not Ferguson. Stewart will continue, but his team is way up in this game. And the first half, 27-zip. Memphis leading Cincinnati. Stay tuned. Coming up after the break, the Verizon Halftime Report. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico.
Tonight we rise. Tonight we rise.
Memphis up big at halftime over to win their 3rd straight in the series against Cincinnati and get the 7 wins. But the 3rd straight year, the Tigers are going to go bowling. Welcome back to Cincy, everyone. Dave Ryan, Corey Chavis, former starting offensive back in the NFL. And at Vanderbilt, Melanie Collins rejoins us on the field again in a moment. Jason Stewart fills in nicely for the injured Riley Ferguson, and the Bearcat offense just, again, can get nothing going in the first half.
Zach Taylor has to be letting out the side as well, because there have been some opportunities down the field that he's created. But really, Memphis, they've run the ball well, and we talked about the spine of the field. Well, let's take a look at Drew Kaiser in the first half. Now, he's going to fake this block inside, and look at his mobility getting out in space. And this is one of the key things you have to be able to do as a center. It's a screen design. He's going to go out here and block Zach Edwards, their best safety. One-on-one. And not only does he block him, he opens it up for Dorsey is on the outside. Look at the balance. Defensively, here's Zach Taylor opening something up, and they're going to attack Chris Morley in the middle of the field. Now watch, He has Khalil Lewis wide open. Zach Taylor, he designed it perfectly. All you have to do is make the throw. You need arc to get this over the top of Chris Morley. This is not on Zach Taylor. This is a bad throw and a great play by Morley. But the plays have been there. The lack of execution, I don't know, it's kind of confounding a little bit.
Check our Valero first half stats, Corey. Only 99 total yards for the Bearcats. Shut out again in a half this year. It's happened a lot.
But that was let's go back to that play. What was he open? I mean, you make the throw there.
Got to make the throw.
Potentially a touchdown.
He's still running. Absolutely.
He's still running. So I just thought that play was an example in the first half of a wasted opportunity. You have got to be able to come out in this. Really, right now, you're probably going to get a touchback because that's all Elliott does is kick the ball out of the end zone. But if you can return it, somebody has to make an explosive play on this Cincinnati football team.
Ron Rollins, Khalil Lewis steep to receive the kick here from Jake Elliott. En route to another All-American season. And as Corey correctly predicted, it's through the end zone for a touchback. Melanie Collins spoke with Tommy Tuberville, UC's head coach.
Thank you, Dave. I just spoke with Coach Tuberville. He's obviously frustrated. He said we lost our technique early. We're not playing physical enough, and we need to make some plays at the quarterback position. He said we're lucky the score isn't worse right now. I asked him, will we see a change at quarterback? He said we're going to see how this first series goes.
Interesting, because he told us pregame, Melanie, that he would not replace Hayden Moore. It was his game tonight. Lost trail, as we talked about, started a couple games this year, up and down. He appeared as a running quarterback in a couple plays last week at UCF. Gunnar Kiel, one of the all-time greats at Cincinnati, is available as well tonight. Moore starts the half. And Cole has the catch. Cook and Lanier combining the tackle for Memphis. 38 straight drives, Corey, without a touchdown. That is unbelievable.
And the other team that's on that list, UConn, what's happened to them? I mean, when you have those types of issues offensively, you don't help your defense out. Both teams have good defenses, by the way.
That hasn't been the problem. More in the screenplay with Suttles providing pressure, and Khalil Lewis has the catch and is immediately caught. Northern, Cook, and company.
And what we saw earlier in the halftime break, Drew Kaiser getting out and making a block. Right here, Corey Cunningham, the right tackle. He can't make the block in space, and that allows those safeties to come up and make the tackle.
It's 3rd and 10.
Second half struggles and losses for the Bearcats. Remarkable. 3rd down. Pressure. Jannard Avery. Moore and Morley come together. And Chris Morley drops him. It is a gain of 1 for Hayden Moore.
You're just dropping his eye level too quickly. Now they're going to bring outside pressure. They're going to come around with Avery. So now you see how they twist back inside, and you're driving. That's good protection. That is not a good job that time by Hayden Moore. I think they had that picked up. He's in feeling the pressure a little bit too much.
Geraci punting here to John Pop Williams, not Miller back. And Williams, freshman from Destrehan, Louisiana, has got some room around Wilson. And a good run back for Williams in his first punt return attempt of the night. Tigers in business again.
Clemens had an excellent game on special teams. He couldn't get off the block. Kennard, I'd like to see maybe another effort, a little bit more effort. And I don't know, man, that wasn't typical Cincinnati punt coverage.
35-yard return there for Williams. Only his 4th punt return attempt of the season. True freshman. So Stewart back out there, replacing Riley Ferguson. Like Norvell told Melanie, Ferguson's night probably done with a rib injury in the first quarter. Pollard on 1st down gets a touch. Stopped by Copeland.
Well, I mean, if you're Memphis, it's about doing what they just started, run the football. I mean, make sure that Cincinnati, we talked about the 444 rushing attempts coming into this game. That was 11th, I believe, in the the AAC. So now if you look on the other side for them, Cincinnati, you know they've got to make some explosive plays.
Those were tonight's Lowe's game improvements. Lowe's never stop improving. Here's Pollard, loose. He scampers inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. Gain of 11.
Well, it's a draw, and they're going to get out behind Kaiser again. We mentioned in the open that this was an even matchup. Tonight, Kaiser's been the better center, a position of significance in this Memphis attack.
First down. Dorlan Dorcius had 2 first-half touchdown runs. It was directly to wall of red jerseys led by Marquise Copeland. And give Dorlan a gain of 1.
And I don't know if I've seen a player play better than Marquise Copeland over the second half of the season. Dominant against Temple. Pretty good last week against UCF, and not bad against BYU. Number 44, Marquise Copeland. He's a budding star for the Cincinnati defense and a guy to watch in the future.
Sophomore from Cleveland. You're right, he's a good one. On second down, Dorlan Dorcius tries the right side. Injured Bearcat. Kennard made the play.
Broughton on the field. This down.
Cortez Broughton is hurt, you're right. A sophomore from Little Robbins, Georgia, right outside Atlanta. He had 4 tackles last week in that loss at UCF in Orlando.
You see that block? I don't know. That was by Gabe Kuhn, and that was a cut block, and I didn't like that block. I'll just be honest. That was not a block that I'm in favor of. Talk about player safety, and not a fan of that block.
Broughton's had a good year as well. A lone sack for UCF last week against UCF in Orlando. He sacked Greg Ward Jr. and Philip Walker, 2 very elusive quarterbacks in the American Conference.
Yeah, that was a tough block to watch, the last play, because obviously, you know, when you're in that restricted area, those types of blocks, particularly if it's in a closed 2 to 3.
Now Lewis there, Corey, he's going to the locker room. It's just getting worse here for Cincinnati. They've had a lot of injury problems. Talk about Mike Boone being out for the year. Chad Bonchbach, his backup running back, lost for the season with an injury.
Well, they got to get out the field here, though. It's third down. I mean, they got to forget about that and get back focused immediately.
Oh, you're right. Bearcat shows some pressure off the edge. Miller, slant. Miller, end zone, touchdown, Memphis. Anthony Miller. We told you he's a threat. And 6 more on the board for the Tigers from 22 yards out, and the route is on here tonight in Cincy.
Well, they bring him in motion, and it's an outstanding look at really how they created a mismatch, and that mismatch was against Mike Tyson. Now, we talked about taking advantage of the matchups, and if you're Jason Stewart, give him credit. I think they can win football games with him at quarterback, even if Ferguson is out.
Second catch for Miller. 9th touchdown grab of the year for him. Tops on the Tigers. Another PAT from Jake Elliott. Continues the record-setting streak.
When you start hearing about names like Isaac Bruce in the same breath, one of my former teammates, he was so smooth and graceful. Miller does it a different way. At the same time, he's physical, tough, and he doesn't mind the grind.
Let's take a look at this week's college football playoff poll, powered by Ram Trucks. Alabama takes on Chattanooga. And how about Louisville last night? Just getting smoked at Houston.
Well, they lost to him a year ago, and that was something that we had talked about. But, hey, there's a lot of different things going on. I think the new faces in the top places in the Pac-12, Washington, they still got to play Washington State. Colorado's emergence, and now Stanford's back in the poll. There's a new guard going on in the Pac-12, and then can 2 Big Ten teams make the playoff? We'll see. I mean, if Ohio State can beat Michigan, and then Penn State wins out, or Wisconsin wins out, and then finally, this is a Big 12 elimination game this weekend, Oklahoma and West Virginia. I can't wait to see D.D. Westbrook against that West Virginia defense. He's been pretty good.
As usual, a touchback off the foot there of Memphis star kicker Jake Elliott. So, our predictions, playoff teams, I've got Bama, Clemson, be back in there, despite their loss last week to Pitt. Michigan and Washington, despite their loss to USC. Michigan lost to Iowa. But you're right. So much is going to happen in the last 2 regular season games and the conference championship games.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that there's going to be some Heisman moments. And I think that's the thing that we're most excited about seeing. Ohio State plays Michigan. I think the world will be watching. And it'll be interesting to see if Barrett or Peppers stands out.
What a showdown that's going to be. Tion Green gets things started here for Cincinnati. And plows ahead for a yard or so. Now, Lamar Jackson last night, subpar game in a bad loss at Houston. Everyone watching in a nationally televised game.
Right.
Did that damage his Heisman hopes in your mind?
I think it did. It depends on whether you're going to give him the benefit of the whole body of work because he's had some other subpar games, including the Wake Forest game the week before.
Thomas Geddes has a catch. True
what about for you?
From Pompano Beach, Florida. Yes, it damages him without question. I've got a Heisman vote. I'm excited about voting again this year.
I always like listening to you go through the process about
Pumphrey. Donnell Pumphrey.
You give me a hint.
Name isn't mentioned enough. Nation's leading rusher, San Diego State. Huge game this weekend against Wyoming for the Aztecs in the Mountain West. Third down, Moore is throwing. And Beard has a catch. Morley, Mollett wrestling out of bounds, gets out to about the 41. It is a first down for the Bearcats. No one's talking about him on the national level.
I don't understand it.
Fantastic year. San Diego State's 9-1. They beat Cal this year.
Yeah, they're a good football team and have been for a while. Consistent program.
Tion Green on senior night. His last home game in Nippert is stopped by Latarius Brady. National awards, Corey. Let's talk big picture here.
I like what James Franklin has done at Penn State. I know Matthew Kushner and Melanie Collins like to hear that. Penn State alums, they love it. Washington State, 8 wins in a row. Mike Leach, give him some credit.
Big game with Colorado this weekend. Undefeated in the Pac-12, Wazoo. How about that? Second down. Cole to catch. Mollett.
And why is Luke Falk not getting any Heisman mention? West Coast.
West Coast bias, East Coast bias, maybe.
Washington
State has probably, in terms of the Power 5 versus Group of 5, more credibility as a Pac-12. They're a newcomer, though, to the national scene, having a great year.
This is his second year in a row, though, doing big things on the West Coast.
You got to put him in there, I think. In the discussion. Third down, it's Hayden Moore. Scrambling, has the first down. Pushes ahead of the 46 into Tiger territory. Chains move for the Bearcats.
And this is a better decision by Moore. You've got really the same type of pressure packages, and he makes a quick, fast decision. That's what you're going to have to do, particularly when they get in the red zone, if they can get down there again.
First down. Deontay Buckley. 4 carries, 18 yards last week against UCF. Senior from Indianapolis and a transfer from Indiana State. Again, not having Mike Boone, just such a detriment for this struggling Cincinnati offense.
The injuries, they've been a huge factor for this football team. Everybody goes through them, but they've been huge for this team.
Buckley again on the carry. Drags tacklers ahead with second, third effort. Gets very close to the marker. He needs the 36 for a Bearcat first down. It's about half a yard shy. So third and short coming up here.
And now you've got to, and I know it's third and short, you want to get the first down, but you want to make sure you understand how much time is left in the game. You got plenty of time. You got to go down here and score and then think about getting another score before the quarter changes out. So that's got to be the mentality regardless of whether you get this first down.
So all third down numbers. Counter give, Tion Green. Good second effort. Trucks ahead and does have the first down. Gets to the 35. Gain of 2 for the senior. Tion came up to us during the walkthrough yesterday and said, hey, you guys want to talk to me? I want to talk about my senior night. Having a big evening.
Well, he's an effort player. You saw that last week, and now you got to begin to pick up the pace if you're Hayden Moore. They're having problems substituting. You got to try to get an easy one on the board.
3 wideouts to his right here. Green carries. Second level and then some. Marley can't bring him down. Power powerful run. Sharif White finally made the play for Memphis.
Now you're cutting back off of the block, and you can see, oh.
Avery Johnson brings in this catch. First touch of the night for the junior from Pompano Beach, Florida. Transfer from LSU.
Well, here we go, in the red zone. Let's see if they can finally get over the hump. They're going with these double wide looks at the bottom of the screen.
Second down. Play fake. Rollins, the catch, driven backwards. Arthur Millette blew that play up. Impressive.
I told you at the beginning of the game, this is a guy I wanted to see tonight, and been as impressed with him as any corner we've seen this year. That's a tight end he's getting underneath, though. Watch, Donnie can't make the block. That's a tight end, 250 pounds, he's getting underneath to make that tackle.
That was impressive.
You think
it's 190.
You think he doesn't want it?
Here's third down. Moore. Pressure. Eludes a tackle, gets popped by Ty Northern, who came up and really delivered a blow. He did get to the 10-yard line, though, and a first down for Cincinnati. Good effort for Hayden Moore.
I tell you what, that was impressive. I mean, if you want to talk about down 34, you got to get the first down. Everybody's depending on you, and this is why he has his believers.
Gain of 7. Tion Green navigates. Ty Northern got there first. White helped clean him up. A lot of help there from Avery. Can the touchdown streak finally come to an end? It's been a long time since they scored a touchdown.
What about Nate Cole? He's been invisible. We haven't heard anything about him in weeks. Now, he has 4 touchdowns, and Nate Cole has to be a guy you look for in this area of the field at some point if you're Hayden Moore.
Second and goal. Screen pass. Green has it. Millette holds him up. There's the whistle. Help from Morley.
Pass is complete to number 7.
Got to about the 4-yard line. Third and goal here for UC.
Millette will tackle now, won't he? I mean, he doesn't mind the physical part of the game, and believe me, that's why I pointed him out. If you're going to be able to play at the next level in NFL, you're going to have to be able to tackle, and he does a pretty good job of it.
Last point scored in the second half of the game we called here, Corey, a few weeks back. October 22nd against East Carolina. Wow.
This is third down.
Third and goal. Gray, intended receiver, not close. Now fourth and goal. What do you think? You got to go for a touchdown, right? I mean, you're down 34 points.
Yeah, you're not going to kick a field goal now. Or everybody's going to leave.
Right.
So I mean, you got
you though. You're not going to leave, right? Because
well,
I need you.
Well, you got to eat. So I mean, we can't leave. But no, I think now you got to make a decision. Do you go Gray at the top of the screen? He's one-on-one up here with Millette. Do you give him another shot?
Can the Bearcats score a touchdown? Fourth and goal. Moore end zone. Incomplete to Gray. And the answer is no, they cannot. The streak of futility incredibly continues.
Well, I mean, give Millette credit. I mean, if you're going to try me to get the score, you got to be thinking you missed in terms of your decision-making process. He's one-on-one, and nobody's open when you're throwing at me.
Ferguson hurt early, Corey. Blitz there. Linebacker Eric Wilson got him left ribs. Did not return. So Jason Stewart has come in and played pretty well.
Yeah, he's done a little bit of it all. This is a bootleg to his right. You see the accuracy on the move. Here, a solid crossing route in stride for Miller. Look at this Sonic quarterback comparison. 9 out of 10 for Stewart. 2 touchdowns. Flawless performance on the other side. You see the frustration with Hayden Moore. He showed a lot of toughness on the last drive. He's a tough kid. He had a great game a year ago against Memphis with 557 yards. Different story tonight.
Much, much different. 12 quarters and counting without a touchdown for Cincinnati. Stewart, the RPO, that ball's tipped away. Edwards made a really nice play, and it's incomplete. On senior night, Zach Edwards, good effort.
Boy, he may have had something here, too. You're going to see open down the field. The guy you mentioned earlier, Sean Dykes. You see Dykes is behind Coleman. So that run pass option, man, that could have been a big play.
Tiger defense has struggled this year at times. They were at 49 to USF last week. Much different story tonight. Pitching a shutout. 5 on the play clock. The senior Stewart. Short run play. Back down to Melanie Collins. Injury update.
Thank you, Dave. Just to update you, defensive tackle Cortez Broughton. We saw him limp off the field the last time the defense was out. He wrapped his left quad in ice and rode the bike for a while. His helmet's back on, so he should be good to go. Meanwhile, wide receiver Khalil Lewis has a head injury. He will not return to this game.
Lewis, Melanie, has been the most explosive threat for Cincinnati. Even worse news for the Bearcats. Good to hear that Broughton could return. Third down. Stewart from his end zone. Now scrambles and is tripped up from behind. Good play by Brian Wright. And a career high of 9 tackles in a game we called a couple weeks ago against BYU. It's gain of 6.
This is called retracking your steps, and you're going to see he get up the field and then retrace his path to get back to the quarterback. Because remember, he's going one way. Quarterback begins to run. He has to retrace a path to get him down, and it's the type of effort you want to see. And that's what I was talking about earlier with this defense.
Beard back to receive the Spencer Smith punt. And a good Tiger roll.
That sounds like a song, Tiger Roll.
Fight song tonight. Checks up at the 35-yard line. Bearcats get it back, trying to break this long streak of scoreless football. 55-yard punt. Game for Tommy Tuberville in Cincinnati, and Melanie, a very tough week for the Bearcat family.
Sure has been, Dave. Former Cincinnati star running back Isaiah Peed was involved in a serious car accident in Columbus, Ohio last week that left him in critical condition. His vehicle veered off the highway at over 90 miles per hour, and he was ejected from it. We're told a large part of his left leg had to be amputated, so his playing career is clearly over. He spent 4 years with the Rams before having stints with the Steelers and Dolphins, so just devastating news for a former Bearcat, and we certainly wish him well in his recovery.
Third all-time leading rusher in Cincinnati history, Melanie. Such a tragic accident. Wesley Richardson also involved in that. One car accident, former defensive back. Cincinnati, also a native of Columbus, Ohio.
Man, I got a chance to know Isaiah over the years. Just one of the most humble young men you'll ever meet. And I don't know, I sent him a message this week, and I'll send him one now if he's watching. Prayers up, my man, and get well soon.
Here's second down. Wheel route. Tion Green has the catch. Smollett knocks him out of bounds, but the Bearcats a good pickup. Gain of 15, first down.
You can see the talent from Hayden Moore and why Zach Taylor was excited about him being a potential starter early in the season.
Green stays busy. Another touch. And Akins and company stand him up after a gain of 1. Been a long time. 200 plus minutes. 95-6 outscored during that span. The 6 losses they've had so far this year in the second half. A total of 6 points. A total of 6 second half points. And that was a touchdown against USF. Nothing since. 6 points. Maybe it changes this drive. There's a slant. Cole's got the catch. Stopped by Norbert.
Well, it's in the minds of the players now.
It's got to be, right?
Yeah, and they've got to be able to, when you finally get the score, it's going to be a boulder lifted off the backs of these young men. And I believe at that point, you might be able to see them relax and play more of what the type of football they were playing earlier in the season on the offensive side of the ball.
Northern's been pretty busy since replacing Austin Hall, their star hybrid linebacker. Lost in the first half of an injury for Memphis. Play fake. More the deep ball. It's incomplete. There is a marker down. Devin Gray with a nice one-on-one matchup on the go route.
And I think that was a good enough pass that you got to find a way to catch those contested balls.
Pass interference. Defense number 8. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
It is Arthur Millette on the PI.
Well, you're in the press coverage, use what you would call a motor technique, and he's in a pretty good position, but you got to be able to hang on to that ball. Now, Millette did a good job of raking through here at the end of the play because Gray had the touchdown they've been looking for.
Close to being a catch. Next play, though, no review. Automatic first down. Buckley, strong run.
Now, he's a senior, too. It's not just Tion Green senior night. He's going to follow behind Carswell. Watch him get north-south. Millette, you don't want any. And then he gets up with the motion, and that's what this Cincinnati, that's the emotional shot that these Cincinnati Bearcats fans have been waiting on. Somebody saying it's senior night.
End of the third. It is 34-0. Bearcats, though, knocking on the door, trying to break the long streak without any points. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico. Take a look at tonight's Chick-fil-A fan cam. Home finale for the Bearcats. They're in Tulsa next week to wrap up the regular season. And right now it is Batman 3 and Cincinnati nothing. Yes,
don't do it like that now.
Kicks the field goal, and the student section loved it. Scored by quarter. Super Moon is over. Did you do some Moon?
I did.
Observation this week? Closest since 1948. Amazing. All right, let's check our American Conference.
And you were out with your telescope?
Yes, it was fascinating. American Conference standings.
The telescope. Well,
Cincinnati
this says it all.
Trying to avoid losing its 7th game of the year, and all probability, no bowl game. But keep in mind, last year some teams with losing records made bowls, like San Jose State. It could happen. It's unlikely. At 4-8, no chance. And Tulsa's next week. First down. Tion Green trying to break this long touchdownless streak for UC. It has just been miserable.
Well, Avery is not going to stop playing. And you've got a Memphis defensive front who's feeling good about what they've been able to do tonight. And they've gotten good play up the middle from Donald Pennington, number 58. He's been very solid. I think he's even a little bit better than the guy with more size, Jared Gentry, behind him.
Second and goal. Play fake. Screen pass. Gray blown up by Ty Northern. And sends Gray way backwards. What a play.
Well,
by Austin Hall's backup.
But one thing about Northern, in the fourth quarter of games, his energy level does not drop. If you watch the Tulsa game, they're behind by 29, and it's the same types of plays he was making. And if it goes lateral with his range, he's going to get there.
Loss of 7. From Tunica, Mississippi, JC transfer from Pearl River Community College, Ty Northern. More throwing. Cole has the catch. Ball in. Sends him tumbling out of bounds. And it's going to be 4th and goal. And, of course, the Bearcats have got to go for it. It's a gain of 6. You've got no choice. Forgettable season for Tommy Tuberville, who, in his first 19 years as a head coach at Ole Miss, Auburn, Texas Tech, and here at Cincinnati, has gone to 15 bowl games. That's an incredible record. But it doesn't look like they're going bowling this year. 4th and goal. Moore. End zone. Gray! Yes! It's happened! Cincinnati scores a touchdown! The streak is over. Finally.
Well, they ran a combination. You can see the relief on Gray's face. Deshaun Bond on senior night said, thank you. To get a touchdown, and it was a good route by Gray, and he beat a guy I like a lot, Jamal Partner, their third corner.
First time we've seen Josh Pasley tonight. Replacing the injured Andrew Gantz, who's one of the best kickers in the nation, lost for the year with a hip injury. So Gray, the transfer from Sierra College, from Reno, Nevada, has got a touchdown catch. And the long streak is finally over. 14th grab of the year for Gray. Moore's got a touchdown pass. Something good, Tommy, right? Something finally. Look at tonight's Bud Light game summary. So, Corey, you made a great point. At 267 yards, probably shouldn't equal 34 points. 221 total yards for UC, and only 7 points tonight.
And it was these turnovers that made the difference. And I believe that these teams were pretty evenly matched. When our producer Carlo Generini talked to me about, let's look at this spine of the defense, the football field, offense all the way through defense. And you can see the first touchdown scored. I mean, what does that add up to? Was it 205 minutes? What is that?
The last touchdown scored by Cincinnati, I'm going to get that for you in a minute, I'll do the math, was Devin Gray from Gunnar Kiel, second quarter against Temple. Also, 10 yards. How about that directional kick? And out to about the 27. Join us, the Hardwood, as our Paradise Jam coverage continues Sunday night with the semifinals, 8:30 Eastern, ahead of Monday night's Consolation Championship games, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Watching hoops with NC State and Montana on our air prior to our broadcast tonight. Creighton, Blue Jays in the Big East, number 22 in the country. It's all coming up on CBS Sports Network. Some good hoops coming your way.
That conference has reinvented itself, hasn't it?
Sure has. St. Joe's at the 8-10, Ole Miss, SEC, NC State, and the Blue Jays. Dorcius. Lucky not to get that handoff because he was absolutely crushed on the play. Wow. There was a lot of contact there from Caleb Ashworth. It's Dorcius. Kamani Fitz finished off Jason Stewart's loss of 3. That was a wild play. Second down. Stewart. Ashworth has a sack. Redshirt freshman from Dry Fork, Virginia, showing up here in the fourth quarter.
Well, he can be number 72 right around the edge. He's going to come in over the top, and that's probably his best pass rush move. He wants to get extension with his inside arm and then turn that corner. He's got some strength, and that's the one thing he's shown up against Temple at a sack in that game as well. His team is still playing hard on this defensive side of the football.
They are playing hard, Corey. I'll give them credit for that.
No matter when you see them play, it's the same script.
And we've seen them a lot. It's our 5th game with them this year. It's a great point. Ashworth some pressure. Cut block that time. Dorland Dorcius, little outlet screen pass. And he gets to the 25. He needs the 38 for a first down. So punt time here for Memphis, a gain of 9. Smith on the punt. Braden Beard makes some tacklers miss. If he cut outside, he might have some more room. Now he pushes the pile ahead. It's a pretty good return, though.
Well, that's a big play.
He keeps on moving. And inside the 45, a late flag comes in after the return from Beard.
That might be on Memphis. And if it is, you're going to be in optimum field position if you're Cincinnati.
After the play is over, dead ball foul, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, return team number 20. 15-yard penalty, first down.
It's Carter Jacobs. Tommy Tuberville not happy about that at all. Cost him 15 valuable yards. 5:30 Eastern Time, only on CBS Sports Network.
What about Brian Hill for Wyoming?
He's 3-1 too.
I mean,
Humphreys climbing the ladder there, partner.
Yeah,
Here's what he needs: 347 yards. He's got 4 games to do it because they'll play in the Mountain West Championship game as West Division champs plus the bowl.
He's got it.
He's got to average 86.7 yards a game to set the all-time record. Good luck to Donnell Pope.
Anybody? Well, this is where we have the
Carter Jacobs couldn't understand what happened there. 15-yard personal foul. Avery Johnson on the run. Slow to get up.
Gain of a yard on the play.
And Dontrell Nelson is back for one of the key performers for this football team. He had been out injured. Good shot of him. He's a player that really has given them something by coming back into the lineup tonight.
Second down. Moore's going to run. Look for the edge. Driven out of bounds there again by Arthur Milletta's had a huge game. So Temple, Corey, controls his own destiny. They beat USF and UCF. And a chance to go back to the American Conference Championship game for a second straight year.
I'll give Matt Rule some credit. I mean,
absolutely.
He's just done a wonderful job. And they fit the personality of what they want to do, and they don't stray away from it. And the consistency has been behind a quarterback who has a lot of experience.
Owls have won 4 straight games at Tulane Saturday, home to East Carolina, their last game of the year. Tigers bring some pressure. Northern all over. Hayden Moore gets away, but not from Wilson.
Moore is sacked on the play.
Here's a flag down. Jonathan Wilson, nicknamed Swamp Donkey. Do you get better than that? Do you get better than that?
Holding, offense number 71. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
Corey Cunningham, right tackle for Cincinnati. Punt time for the Bearcats again.
They've struggled up front. I mean, and here he goes on that side, and you're going to see him take down Suttles again. That's Ernest Suttles working over the top of Corey Cunningham. And that's the second or third time tonight we've seen him have some problems with guys getting over the top of him.
Geraci. Punts to Pop Williams.
Williams fair catches the ball for the Tigers.
Now the Tigers get it back. Big lead tonight, looking for win number 7 on the season. All right, Corey, let's take a look at tonight's Geico difference makers. Jason Stewart fills in for the injured Riley Ferguson, and solid numbers. Good game manager. Looks like the Tigers are going to win this one. You love Arthur Millette, though.
I really do. I think he's proven to everybody tonight that he's one of those players that his competitive drive is what fuels him. And this is a perfect example. Now down the field, you're one-on-one with the 6-foot receiver and you show the body control. Now you come up and you're aggressive, and he shakes his head and says, no way. Now I'm going to get off the block of the 250-pound tight end and make a tackle. Arthur Millette, he's from Harvey, Louisiana. He's a player that, he's maybe not 5'11", but he plays like he's 6 foot tall.
Taylor delayed it.
Patrick Taylor on the handoff for Memphis.
Stopped there by Zach Edwards. Final home game for Zach.
Edwards made the tackle.
Hobbling around with that sports hernia injury he had yesterday. Tommy Tuberville thought Edwards might be doubtful for the game tonight. He's played really well, has 8 tackles.
Can't say enough about Zach Edwards and the career he's had, the consistent level of tackling. 121 tackles in 2014.
Taylor stays busy. Ashworth first to get to
Patrick Taylor on the carry.
Gain of 2. So the West Navy controls its own destiny as the Mids have the regular season games left against East Carolina, SMU in the American. They play Army, but of course that will not count toward the American standings. Mids have a chance to host the American Conference Championship.
Think about this for a minute. Houston just beat the 5th-ranked team in the country. They're in 2nd place in the West.
I know. Not even the best team in the West. I mean, Navy beat them in a while.
7 bowl teams from this conference.
6-point shootout. Been a good year for the American. Had 8 last year. Go bowling. Catch there by Phil Mayhew, his first grab of the night.
I like the release by Stewart. I actually like his release a little better than Ferguson, but That was Edwards again on the contact, and you got two guys who may have inadvertently hit each other.
Coleman and Edwards really slow to get up there.
And getting back to Edwards, 18 tackles against Memphis in 2014. Here's that collision, and it's a big man. Talking about Phil Mayhew. He's 6'3", 210 pounds, and he's tough. And he's gonna run through contact. He brought the wood, even though he was catching the football.
Edwards has 371 career tackles.
That's
really
amazing.
Really good run for him here in Cincinnati. Stewart, that sprint right and throws. Wow. Look at Mayhew's catch there on the sideline.
Wow.
In front of Tyson. That was a fabulous grab.
And I tell you what, that's almost as good as the grab he had against Tulsa. And it was similar to this, but it was from Ferguson. And look at this throw by Stewart. The back shot, I mean, this, tell you what, I mean, the body control and the length and the catch radius of Mayhew. A lot of those catches he made with Paxton Lynch, currently with the Denver Broncos.
Gain of 16, first down. Stewart to check with me. Last year, he redshirted after 2 different junior colleges. It's been quite an interesting route to play quarterback at Memphis for Stewart, just like the story of Ferguson. Dorcius carries, and Brian Wright gets to it along with Marquise Kirkland. So last night's stunning win for Houston at home against 5th-ranked Louisville. They're going to drop in the college football playoff poll coming out Tuesday night. Temple looking to win the East. USF's a talented team. They put 49 up on this Memphis team last week.
They did, and that's fast break basketball on grass at its best.
Rodney Adams last week was unbelievable.
He really was.
Touchdowns.
But was he as good as Quentin Flowers? I mean,
no, probably not. Nice one there for Dorcius. Quentin Flowers ran for 210 yards last week in that win over Memphis, most ever in the American Conference by a quarterback.
And he's etching out a place for himself in terms of the next level at running back. He'll play running back at the next level, and I think a lot of people are excited about what he might be able to do at that position.
Willie Taggart is excited about next year. He's got one more season as the starting quarterback. What a year it's been again for USF, trying to go 9-2. And how about UCF bowl eligible? Come on, what a turnaround for the Knights. On the 3rd down slant, Mayhew's got the catch, wrestled down by Lyndon Stevens. Winless a year ago with the Knights. 0-12. One of 2 teams winless in the FBS along with Kansas. Now Kansas has 1 win this year, but the Knights have 6. And look at that. Since the split, 1 AA, 1A now, FBS, FCS, UCF's on that list. Pretty cool.
And I want to give some credit to Eric Chenander, their defensive coordinator.
Absolutely.
Obviously, Scott Frost has done an amazing job, but along with their defensive backs coach, Travis Fisher, that defensive secondary may be the best in this conference, and that's saying a lot.
Jakeem Griffin has had himself a season. Taylor carries here. Stopped by Ashworth.
And his twin brother, Shaquille.
Both
I mean, he's kind of gotten overlooked a little bit because
they both should be all conference.
Yeah, and you think about it. I mean, think about a lot of times you have twins. How many times are they both that good, right? I mean, both of those, that's maybe the best set of twins in college football.
Clock rolling, 5.5 to go. Standing between Memphis and win number 7. Bearcats a loser, 7th. Taylor. Stopped by Chris Burton of Cincinnati. A lot of snaps last week in that loss in Orlando to UCF. I'll spin this head a little bit for Memphis. They've got Houston next week, and then the bowl game. It's been a really good season for Mike Norvell.
He's a coach that was very impressive in terms of what he was able to do at Arizona State, what he did at Tulsa, going all the way back to when he had Demarius Johnson there at Tulsa, and he was an All-American receiver. This is a coach who understands offensive football, and then when you combine him with a Chris Ball on the defensive side of the ball, I think him and Chip Long have done a really good job putting this offense together. You see it tonight without Ferguson.
Taylor, nice move. Taylor, second level, then some. Elusive. Bumped out of bounds by Wilson. First down for Memphis. Gets to the 21-yard line of the Bearcats.
And I like the way they can hit you with this three-headed monster at running back. We talked about Mike Boone not being there for Cincinnati. We got Patrick Taylor, Dorland Dorsey, as we've seen what he's been able to do. Darrell Henderson hasn't has as much of an impact as we would have expected running it, but he's caught a couple of passes. So they can hit you with three different running backs and work the depth of your defensive lines that they'll play anytime in the future.
Dorsey has ran for 66 and 2 touchdowns tonight. Here's first down. Taylor stays busy. Then cut back on Jacobs and lunges ahead for a couple yards.
And I like the way Drew Kaiser's played tonight, along with Dustin Woodard on the left side. Now, Javon Tate has had a little bit of problems at that left tackle. I think he has good feet. He's somebody that they can do a lot of different things with. I like Daniel Montiel for them as a tight end. And on the right side, they've got pretty good play from Roberson and Coon. Their offensive line played okay tonight. This Cincinnati defense challenged them up front.
Second down. Here's Taylor. Runs right, runs away from Jacobs, gets physical with Stevens. And a good confrontation. Tonight's Auto Trader player of the game. Jason Stewart fills in nicely for Riley Ferguson.
We couldn't ask for a better performance, and that's what you expect. When you're a senior and you're asked to come in the game, you've got your own hopes, and you've patiently waited your turn, and what a job by Stewart.
First extensive action of the season by far. Coming in, he had thrown 12 passes, only appeared in 3 games, and had no touchdown passes. Remarkable.
Probably thought he'd be the starter this year after Lynch's departure.
Taylor's lay handoff. Navigates, gets by Kamani Fitz.
Number 6,
There's
Taylor
drop
off the
inside the 15-yard line, or inside the 15 down to the 14. Need about the 11 for the first down.
Number 42, Antonio Kennard.
Fourth down here,
Shy.
and 3. And Elliott not coming out. Gonna go for it.
A big picture for this Memphis program with Chip Long as your offensive coordinator, former wide receiver at North Alabama. He's arguably one of the top recruiters in the American Athletic Conference. Keep your eye on Chip Long and the guys that they get into this program under Mike Norvell.
On fourth down, play stop by Wilson. He lost the ball. Wilson comes up with a recovery. And see if it goes to the fumble. Either way, it's going to be Bearcat ball here.
Taylor on the carry for Memphis.
And UC holds. So on senior night, little bright spot there for Eric Wilson. One of the all-time greats in Bearcat history. Makes a nice stop. UC gets it back.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. By Verizon. Join a better network because better matters. By Lowe's. And by Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
The iconic John A. Roebling suspension bridge connecting Cincinnati and Covington, Kentucky over the Ohio River. Up the middle, spine of the field.
Spine of the field. I knew it would be a big factor in this game. Dorsey has had 2 touchdowns rushing. Drew Kaiser led the way for a lot of things, even on their screens. Nose guard defensive tackle. I think Cincinnati did the job there. They did a pretty good job of stopping the run game for the most part. In terms of the linebackers, Jannard Avery had 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. And then you look at Curtis Akins on the other side of him. He had an interception. Remember, he caught the interception earlier. And then what about the safety positions? Now, you want to go to what Zach Edwards did. He had 11 tackles, a tackle and a half for loss, and 2 pass breakups for Cincinnati. But the other players, when you talk about Chris Morley from Memphis, and also the guy who I thought was going to be a little bit of a liability at times, Jonathan Cook, they played outstanding. Morley had a forced fumble. He also had an he also had a sack and an interception. Those guys made more impact plays.
That they did. Big factor. Buckley running here. And he charges ahead for a first down. While we have a moment, I want to mention Chase Wolf played tonight, quarterback St. Xavier here in Cincinnati, son of Steve Wolf, our esteemed colleague, basketball analyst. Now, Chase was injured tonight early, but his team won. They beat Sycamore in the Division I semifinals, 35-28. So they are off now to the state semifinals. Congrats to Chase and St. X.
And he was playing behind a Penn State commit, Sean Clifford. And you asked me to put some tape on Chase. And
check it out. What do you think?
I was impressed. I thought he had a feel for a good pocket feel. And he excels on the quick slants. I thought he had a feel of throwing on the move in terms of the sprint outs, particularly to his right, but also to his left. And he had some back shoulder capability, pretty good in the red zone with slants and anticipation on corner routes. You talked about what school offering him.
Central Michigan already. Others interested, including Cincinnati, Michigan State, Ohio State. So congrats to Chase and the Wolf family. Daughter Sabrina plays volleyball here at Cincinnati. Well, final moments here tonight, Corey.
Well, it wouldn't be a bad find for Cincinnati. And Central Michigan, Cooper Rush is leaving, and he's got 90 career touchdowns. So, pretty good prospect.
Great prospect on a season for Mike Norvell and the Tigers as they wrap things up here in Cincinnati, 34-7 in a game that was never close. Win number 7 on the year for the Tigers and their young head coach. They are bowl bound.
You can see the respect for Mike Norvell has for Tommy Tuberville.
4th under 10 this season. That is impressive. Defense at times a struggle, but certainly not tonight. Update the standings. So the Bearcats losing 7. Chances of ever getting to a bowl game at 5-7, even if they win at Tulsa next week, very unlikely. Memphis at 4-3 in that tough American West. They are bowling. That's the most important thing for the Tigers this year. Bearcats run of 5 straight seasons with a bowl. That's going to come to an end for Tommy Tuberville. More coming up from Nippert Stadium right after this.